Let's go, Lamar Jackson. Well, let's be honest. He chokes it away at the end, but let's be freaking honest. Overall, there really wasn't that much of a difference between him and Patrick Mahomes because Lamar was really freaking good in this game. He took what the defense gave him, and we got a lot of those vintage Lamar Jackson runs. And I know a lot of Ravens fans are wondering, well, why didn't he run the ball more versus the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game? And this is really good stuff right here on this 3rd and 9. Lamar Jackson sits back into the pocket here. And, of course, this is a very conservative rush right here from the Kansas City Chiefs. A little bit of a mush rush, if you will. They are not going to let Lamar run for this first down. The downside of it is Lamar is really good from the pocket. Look at this throw. Allows this deep over from Zay Flowers to get there, and that is just ridiculously good quarterbacking. So the first 2 plays of this sequence right here were just Derrick Henry runs, and now you're zone reading it, okay? In crashes down. This is really freaking good stuff right here where Isaiah Likely doesn't even block the end and he just goes to the next level to give Lamar an extra block because he knows the end is not going to be able to catch him unless the end just played Lamar from the get-go. And you get a really, really good block from Isaiah Likely, who quite frankly was the best player on the field for the Ravens. And then you get Lamar again. This time you're pulling both your center and your tackle. Good block right here from Mark Andrews, who have a lot of fantasy owners wondering, well, what the heck did I do? Why didn't I just draft Isaiah Likely? Still, really freaking good stuff right here. And once again, it's vintage Lamar Jackson. Good stuff. And you pound this bad boy in with Derrick Henry. Okay? Man, Ravens right there in 22 personnel, they are going to be near impossible to stop in these situations. And King Henry pounds it in. Man, this is ridiculous football from Todd Monken, who's been one of my favorite play callers. Once again, I have a very heavy SEC background for those that don't know. Man, this is just nasty, okay? Ravens showed the 22 personnel look again. 22 personnel means 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, right? The first number is the amount of running backs on the field or fullbacks, and the second number is the amount of tight ends. So you get in this heavy set, but Isaiah Likely runs and catches like a receiver. So you get a heavy play action fake off this first down, and you get Likely over here running a deep corner, and it is a longer developing play. The play action helps with this action, and it gives Lamar enough time to find Isaiah Likely here on this route. I mean, it's such sexy offense right there from the Ravens. So once again, Chris Jones is a Hall of Famer for a reason. The Ravens decide to do basically the same thing. Once again, a very heavy personnel. This time the fullback is lined up at tight end. So it's 12-ish or 21 personnel, whatever you want to call this. And it's Chris Jones just making a play. Yet again, that's why he's a Hall of Famer and one of the best NFL defensive tackles of all time. He's just creating so much pressure, and he's able to get a hand on Lamar Jackson and force this fumble. Okay? It's just Chris Jones making a play. Sometimes that happens. Obviously, Lamar shouldn't be turning this over pretty much ever. So Lamar got a lot of praise for this, and honestly, this is one of the dumber plays I think I've seen Lamar Jackson make. Okay? So it's 3rd and 10. I don't mind him tucking and running. We don't really know if anything's open. I would have liked to have seen... I will pull up the all-22 here in a second. I would have liked to have seen if something was open deep right here. But Lamar does decide to step up and just run with it. Chris Jones was at the end position this time. This is why I don't think this is smart at all from Lamar Jackson. You're not picking this up. Okay, you've got to be smarter, and especially right here, you know you are not picking this up. And he decides to lead with this helmet and his shoulder right here. Just run out of bounds. That could have got you hurt. All right, we get to the 4th and 3, and this would have worked. I mean, this is just really sexy stuff. So you remember, the Ravens have been showing this heavy personnel, and this time they have Derrick Henry at tight end. Okay, so it's kind of tough to see what the Ravens are trying to do. And guess what? I don't know why Nelson Aguilar didn't decide to just run a route right here. If he just runs any kind of route or actually decides to block McDuffie here, this is probably an easy first down. They had the Chiefs fooled, right? Because they did not see Zay Flowers at all. They really did not see him. and McDuffie was just sitting there waiting to make the play. So I don't know if Aguilar was supposed to block right here, but a clear miscommunication on a play that should have worked. A really genius. Once again, the Ravens are one of my favorite offenses to run and watch in the NFL because of their tight end and fullback usage. I'm just a big fan of those positions, and it's kind of a dying art. And I think teams should think about running it more. Lamar on this play action fake, he didn't like anything. And once again, I really do think the Ravens win the AFC Championship game if they have Lamar running like this. 2nd down and 3, and once again, Ravens are in 12 personnel. They have 2 tight ends split out here, and I do think this could have been open to Likely. Once again, it's very cut off here. But if they're going to lose their feet and give Lamar this, you should honestly take it every single time. Once again, you don't want your quarterback taking a lot of hits. But if they're going to part the Red Sea here and allow Lamar to just run, you just keep taking it. So this ends up being a 4-point play right here by Leo Chenal. Once again, just a very heady linebacker. He knows he's not getting to Lamar here, and Lamar sees the matchup that he wants. Hill versus Tranquil, and if this does not get deflected, Hill is scoring pretty easily, honestly. And that ends up being an absolutely massive, massive, massive play. And you could see Hill like, oh my goodness, I had it. Man, this is really good quarterbacking again from Lamar Jackson, okay? Everything's covered. You know, they're running vertical here with an underneath route. And honestly, if you know you're just not going to get it, just take your yards with your running back. Obviously, Justice Hill, really good out of the backfield. Hits him right in that upfield shoulder. And Hill almost falls, but he keeps his feet. And you pick up a cheap and easy 1st down here. Good stuff. All right, a Mark Andrews sighting. I know a lot of fantasy owners were upset, okay? This is a play that's run a lot in the collegiate level, okay? And oftentimes it's run to the boundary, the short side of the field. This time it's run to the wide side of the field. Fake pitch, and you have 3 levels here on the pitch. You have a vertical or an over. You have a vertical behind it, and then you have a 3rd level guy right here as a blocker, and he could go out on the route or he could throw this back to Henry if nothing else opens. And you finally see Mark Andrews make a play in this game. Now, I won't go so far as saying Isaiah Likely is the guy now, but I do think the Ravens are going to continue to run a lot of 12 personnel. And, you know, if you can have Andrews and Likely on the field at the same time, it's a dynamic duo right there. All right, here we go. 3rd and 12. There were quite a few Ravens fans who were wondering, where is the pass interference flag here, okay? So Lamar does a good job stepping up into this pocket. Karlaftis, really good rush off the edge. And Lamar decides to throw on the run here. Is it a bit of an underthrow? Maybe. But that does look like a tug of some sort. But they let it go. Okay? Interesting. I'm just shocked that more college teams don't do this. Play under center. I am such a strong believer in playing under center and just play actioning out of it, especially if a running back like Derrick Henry. Man, it just draws these linebackers so close to the line of scrimmage, and it opens up so much space right here. So Lamar, heavy play action fake. Rashod Bateman is a very solid wide receiver, man. He has one of the best open scores in the entire NFL, right? Rashod Bateman is really good in a stat from Fantasy Points data called ASS. That is it, okay? And you see it right here. Very interesting stuff. I still think he can have a big season. So you get this 3rd and 3. You get a really good snap right here where you're able to get the Cheifs who weren't ready at the snap. And you see what happens if Chris Jones wasn't ready at the snap. It's easier to protect, okay? So you get a little lucky there, and Lamar decides to tuck and run. Nothing was open, and man, his running was so freaking good. Lamar was sensational. I mean, he was MVP level in this game. He really, really, really was. It wasn't his absolute best game, but it was very good. All right, it's 2nd and 17, and here's Lamar freaking being Lamar. Like, seriously, how many quarterbacks are you taking over Lamar Jackson in the NFL right now outside of Patrick? I mean, is there anyone? Like, you know, personally, I'm taking my guy Joey B all day, every day, and maybe Josh Allen, but it's hard to go against a 2-time MVP, once again, I want you to see this arm angle. He doesn't have the strongest arm, right? But look at this. Just a flick of the wrist, arm angle around the rusher here to give Isaiah Likely a chance to make a play. And this is what Isaiah Likely can do, especially if you put him against a linebacker. Not only does he catch it, he cuts back and scores, right? You rarely, and I mean rarely, see the yak ability like Isaiah Likely, who, quite frankly, won me a lot of money on Underdog Fantasy last year. He really is that good, y'all. I don't think this is just a fluke. Now, some QB coaches would tell you, hey, let's work to this dig right here. Because it is open, right? That's part of the reason why I like Rashod Bateman. He gets open, right? It's not the absolute most open thing. And Lamar could have sat in this pocket and done that. But you don't want to take away what he does best, okay, which is this, all right? I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous, okay? He waits, and look at when he's deciding to throw this football, all right? This is unreal. It is unreal quarterbacking, okay? Look at that. I mean, there's just nowhere to fit this. And he's like, F it, Isaiah Likely somewhere down there. And bang. Unreal. Unreal quarterbacking, y'all. Unreal. And this juke right here kind of reminds me of the Lamar high school viral highlight that everyone knows about. Look at this. Whoop. That's nasty, man. All right. Chiefs score again. Lamar says, look, we're not out of this. I'm freaking Lamar Jackson. They decide to run the same play the Chiefs ran for a touchdown with Worthy. And honestly, there's very few players in the NFL want over Zay Flowers on the reverse, man. He really is that good with the football in his hands. You get a nice game. And this is a bad sign if you're a Mark Andrews fan, okay? This is really good offense, a really good play call. You get Mark Andrews, all-world tight end. You just can't fall here. Okay, that's a good throw. You can't fall, right? You got to catch this and potentially score, right? But you fall down. You got to be able to keep your feet there. You want to know why Derrick Henry is an Hall of Fame running back? Because the DT can come through untouched, and he just make him miss, right? And fall forward to save the game here. God, Derrick Henry, I can't wait to see what he does this year. There's not many quarterbacks you want over Lamar Jackson in a 2-minute situation, okay? This is, first off, really good quarterbacking just to get this drive started, okay? Get the football to Isaiah Likely, a little smash concept here. It's very simple, okay? Lamar's just reading this corner. If the corner bails here with Zay Flowers, you throw it to Likely. If the corner sits, you throw it to Zay Flowers on the corner, and that's just really, really good football to get things going. You need Likely to fall out of bounds here, okay, and he does just that. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous as I sip my iced coffee. Steps up into this pocket, and once again, you could throw this. You absolutely can't throw this, all right? And that's where, you want him to throw the football. But Lamar says, hey, I could beat Leo Chenal to the corner. Chenal is 240 pounds. No big deal. Even if Lamar lost some weight this offseason, he's still able to get upfield and then get out of bounds, okay? You don't want to take that hit, get out of bounds a little bit sooner, but you still get the first. Man, this is, once again, Lamar Jackson. I understand what we're about to see is a total choke job, all right? But the truth is, the guy just does these kinds of things, all right? Time in, time out, throws a football to where only his guy could get it on the back shoulder. Look at this catch by Rashod Bateman. Catches it at its highest point, and he's able to fall down. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Now, the only issue with that Bateman play was that he didn't get out of bounds, right? But even then, Ravens have no timeouts left. So Lamar knows he can't tuck and run. He can't, okay? So he steps up here, 4-man rush. This is really good protection across the way, and this is just a really bad misfire. He had a chance to hit Isaiah Likely right over here, and he just throws it too high, right? Likely had been the guy. 2nd down. You get another Lamar miss here, all right? And this one is just simply inexcusable. I mean, that first one, I understand with the play extending that long, you don't want to decide the game if you have a few more plays. But this time, the first thing I don't like about this is I never, with the game on the line, want my running back blocking Chris Jones. Okay? This is not good, right? I understand, like, Lamar could have called this slide protection to the left because you do have the slot corner here that can blitz off the edge, and I get it. I totally get it. But do you really want the game to be decided here with Hill versus Chris Jones? I am not in that camp that wants that to happen, okay? So, honestly, Hill does a really good job. He did about as good a job as you could have asked, but Chris Jones is still there right here. And still, this is a tough throw. You got to make this. You simply just got to make that throw. And it's so horribly thrown. It just is, okay? Total miss. Here we go. Third down again. And guess what? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Xavier Hill, or Justice Hill, going up against Chris Jones again with the game on the line. I don't know if I like that, okay? I don't know, but there is extra equity in that because Lamar just is that freaking good of an athlete. But, man, 2 plays in a row? Ugh, I don't know if I could survive with that. He does eventually find Isaiah Likely, and they called it good at first. After replay, his foot clearly out of bounds. Okay? Now, did Lamar Jackson choke this game away? And the crunch time metric, and look, the Ravens were going to go for 2. They were. Yes, he did. But eventually, you're going to see Lamar Jackson push his team through and win a Super Bowl, or at least get to the Super Bowl, okay? Lamar was really that freaking good in this game. The Chiefs had plenty of opportunities to put this game away, up 20-10, and bang, this video is floating in your face right now for you to see the Chiefs film study from this game. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! And you'll see it right here, man. Isaiah Likely, a star. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, baby. The Kevin Durant toe. And tonight, we are doing lemon pepper chicken wings. Let's go.